Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RV GCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RV GCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RV GCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Goldilocks Global Banking News. Folks, I am your host. It is an honor and a privilege to be here to share this with you today. More understanding of the RV, more understanding of how, keyword, HOW, how it comes into play. Speaking of that, this Saturday night dialogues call will be a part 2 of the RV plan leaked. Part 2. If you think that last Saturday night's dialogue was a bombshell, you have more coming this Saturday. But today, Goldilocks is sharing information related to the war in the Middle East and how, if at all, it affects the RV. Let's jump into it. What Goldilocks is stating is that this war between Iran and Israel will likely have a significant impact and financial repercussions, particularly impacting the price of gold, the implementation of Basel III regulations, and the broader adoption of digital banking and currency valuations. Meaning, it may have an impact on the value of currency eventually. Why? Because of the domino effects, or the domino effect of the consequences of war. Many of you want to know the question: if the war will stop the Iraqi RV, if it will slow the Iraqi RV down. Let me explain something to you to help you with that answer. And you have to be patient to understand this. What the war will do relative to the Iraqi dinar. What do we need for the RV? Some of you immediately know the answer. You'll say regulations, digital asset regulations, gold. Many of you who've been following Goldilocks, you immediately know. Some of you, if I ask that question, what do we need for the RV? Your mind goes blank. If you have the mindset that if you are one who your mind goes blank, do you even really know about your investment? It's okay that it's not okay that you don't. It's okay that if you just weren't aware of much of anything before, it's okay. But if you have been given some facts shared with you
whether by Goldilocks or anywhere else, facts that you can verify, and then you still don't care, you still are unaware, that's a problem. I'm going to share with you how the war can affect the Iraqi dinar. Pay attention. Because we all know, well, I hope you know, we can't have an RV without having gold. And some of you are thinking, now what is he talking about, gold? Folks, we are moving into a new digital banking system whereby assets will be backed by gold. The previous banking system was a fiat system where our currencies were backed by nothing. Thin air. Poof. Would you want to exchange your currency into a system where your money is backed by nothing? So think about it. Do we have gold now? The answer is no. So how is it possible if you are one who understands that we need gold and we don't have a gold system now? How is it that someone could have told you and you believed it that the RV was supposed to happen last week, the week before, last month, last year? Things that make you go, Gold. Gold is historically viewed as a safe haven asset, and its price tends to rise during periods of geopolitical instability, economic uncertainty, and inflationary pressures. Isn't the Middle East in the midst of a geopolitical instability? Isn't war instability? So if gold is historically viewed as a safe haven and its price tends to rise during geopolitical instability like war, and we need gold, isn't what gold is going to back our currencies? Are you connecting the dots? An escalation of Iran and Israel conflict into a full-scale war could likely drive significant increases in gold prices due to several factors. One, the war creates uncertainty and risk for banks. What would they do? Rush to gold, invest in gold, therefore raising the demand for gold up, the price of the value of gold up. What do we need for the RV? So now you're thinking, oh, this war is good. Folks, everything's connected to everything. No war happens by coincidence. Every war is planned. This war can cause oil prices to be shot. Central banks now rushing to buy gold for protection because gold is a safe haven. Gold prices have been going up over the last several months. War would likely lead to a significant amount of volatility. Now let's talk about the impact on Basel III implementation. First, you have to understand Basel III is whereby banks around the world must have an adequate amount of gold in the event of a financial crisis. So, this war could push gold prices up. Connect the dots. Also, Basel III gold. The emphasis on transparency and a daily valuation of gold assets could also push volatility in gold. What are banks rushing to now because of the war? Gold. In the context of the digital banking system that we're moving into, the adoption of gold-backed currencies can be accelerated with central banks around the world, especially in the Middle East. This is one of the reasons that the Central Bank of Iraq and our calls with them, Goldilocks, myself, and Dee, they've constantly asked about gold. They've constantly congratulated themselves on the fact that they've been buying so much gold. This was months ago. They have 130 tons of gold. Gold prices could surge significantly, potentially reaching between 4,000 to 6,000 per ounce, because it's a safe haven and central banks will rush to invest and buy more, just like the Central Bank of Iraq has been doing. This would align with Basel III's push towards physical gold as a tier 1 asset, increasing demand and potentially straining supply chains for physical gold. The endgame, folks, is coming July 1st. The implementation of Basel III could face challenges, including potential delays or adjustments as banks grapple with heightened risks and cost during this war. Banks are moving away from paper gold to digital, physical gold. Physical gold. You got to realize that the movement from paper gold to physical gold that banks are doing, central banks like the Central Bank of Iraq and others, is all a well-designed plan. Gold is a high-quality asset. Safe haven. Think about it. If you want to know whether or not the war in the Middle East will affect the Iraqi Dinar RV, I'm going to ask you this question. Is the RV a global event or an Iraqi event? Is the RV a global event or just an Iraq event? If you understand that the RV is a global event, why the concerns that the war with Iran and Israel will affect Iraq if this is a global event? Why, with the Ukraine war, no one asked about would it affect the Ukrainian currency from revaluing? The riots, protests in California, never a question about whether there's going to be a issue with the revalue of the U.S. dollar. The riots in any other place in the U.S., no concern. Oh, but the war with Iran and Israel, will it affect the Iraqi dinar RV? Folks, I encourage you to think bigger. The RV is not the Iraqi RV solely by itself. If you know this is a global event, you should understand and know that nothing can stop what is coming. If you have fears that the war with Iran and Israel can cause an issue with Iraq and the revaluation of the dinar, you're thinking too small. You're thinking a narrow thought of only the dinar, and it allows me to understand that you may not understand how big this really is. The global reset. If you're only thinking about Iraq, you're missing Iraq. I'm going to repeat that. If you are only thinking about Iraq and the Iraqi dinar revaluation, you are missing the Iraqi dinar revaluation. If you understood how the RV comes to play, what's involved with it, regulations, globally, digital regulations, digital asset regulations, gold, trade. If you really, I really challenge each and every one of you to get outside of that box of just thinking about Iraq. Even if you only have Iraq and dinar, you need to think about more than Iraq. You need to think about the global process which affects Iraq. Everything is connected to everything. Every country is connected to every country, especially through trade. We have stable coins coming down the pipe. All countries are connected through. Basel III coming down the pipe. All countries are connected to. Gold coming down the pipe. All countries are connected to. ISO 222 and all countries are connected to. So you have all these different factors connected to the global reset. Why is it that you're only thinking about dinar? When if you look beyond Iraq, you will see how everything around the world that is happening will benefit your investment in Iraq. So I believe many of you are truly missing. Number one, you're missing peace of mind. Two, you're missing understanding of what's happening even with and related to Iraq because you're only focused on Iraq. Many people have a greater peace of mind and confidence in their investment in Iraq because of what they know about the process. Globally, you have the opportunity to do the same thing. It's not too late. So in short, does the war with Iran and Israel affect the Iraqi dinar revaluation? I believe that question was answered. In short, the answer is no. 100% no. If there's one of you that chooses to truly understand what you hold, you need to look beyond Iraq to know and be more confident in your investment in Iraq. Folks, it would be in your best interests to, it's not too late. You need to really get an understanding of what you hold. I know many of you are punch drunk from the guru rooms. You should be at the point now where you're tired, sick and tired of being tired. Maybe one day. Hopefully it's soon, because you don't have much longer. We love you, folks. Be well. Ciao, ciao.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RV GCR People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RV GCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RV GCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.